What is up, party people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another match reaction here on the Cup Chasers. The Arsenal have destroyed Coventry City 3-0 in a very comfortable win, a strong performance to kick off the season. Absolutely epic for the Gunners this evening. 3-0 could not have gone better. A perfect evening. And we definitely got off to a very, very good start. So let's get off to a good start here today in the video. Go ahead and smash up the likes. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It would be an honor and a pleasure to welcome you to the community. And as always, get that notification bell on. Share it across the socials. You know the drill. This game was very, very good for the Gunners. I think 3-0 is definitely a scoreline I could get used to seeing, as we've done that twice now. I think that it was certainly a baptism by fire for old Frankie Lampard and the Sky Blues here. They certainly did not sit back. They did not park the bus like perhaps maybe they should have. But of course, early goals always tend to change game plans. And once the first one went in, it was always going to be very, very tough for them to come back. So I definitely think we learned a bit about Coventry. I definitely think it's a very good showing from the Gunners, a very good statement to be made. The hunger's still there. The drive, the verve, the passion, as Arteta said, we're attacking this instead of defending the title, and you love to hear that. And so yeah, I think that is exactly what we did in this game. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. You love to see it. I was relaxed most of the time, and if that's how the season is going to be, we're going to be relaxed and we're going to be playing good football, attacking football, more progressive, more open, more kind of we're turning in the midfield and going at the defense. We're trying to find the balls between the lines, and when we do, we're turning and going. I think that's very, very good to see. But as far as how this thing goes, the tail of the tape, let's jump right in from the beginning. When I saw the lineup, of course, I was a little bit disappointed that Bruno G didn't get in. There was some confusion on whether or not he's going to be gone for forever, for a few weeks, few months. You know, what the timeline is, got all confused as after the game it's come out that Arteta has now said that he's not going to be out as long as we thought. So that's very, very good to see. But of course, lewis-skelly came in, was always going to start for me. Rice actually was be the one that came in. And obviously, that's fine to see Rice in there. But I still think, maybe we're doing a bit too much too soon with Declan and even Bukayo Saka, who also came in and played well. And we knew they were going to play well, of course. It's just a matter of fitness for me. But, other than that, I wasn't obviously I would have preferred Gyökeres to start, but you can't fault Kai Havertz when he does his thing. And, I think that today, we'll start with him. I don't necessarily want to, be too nitpicky or whatever. So I think he played well. I think he had a typical performance, really. He scored his goal, and which was very well taken, by the way. And if he can continue to, play well and score goals in our wins, then I'm happy with that. And it doesn't really matter who's scoring the goals. If he continues to do that and contributes to, this attacking philosophy, I think that he pops up in, areas when we're going forward that maybe when there's not a lot of space in behind the lines that he doesn't necessarily need to. It seems like if it's not instruction, I'll caveat this with if it's not instruction, I think that he kind of doesn't know what to do when there's a whole bunch of space. He doesn't stay central like you sometimes want your number 9 player to be, your striker, your goal scorer to be, especially with Tzolis getting the crosses in, beating his man, getting to the byline. If it's going to be like that, more and more so, I think that we need the striker to stay central a bit more. But other than that, that's just being nitpicky. I thought Kai played, he did all right. And, if he's going to score the goal and then kind of disappear like he tends to do sometimes, it's fine if, we score again and again. I don't think he necessarily disappeared completely. I think as the game wore on, he kind of faded a little bit, but then he kind of picked it back up in the end. So all in all, it's not a bad performance. I'd give Kai maybe a 6, maybe a 7. I wouldn't be too unhappy with that. A little bit disappointed not to see Gyökeres, but of course, it is a very long season, and we will, of course, get to see more of more of the depth in the forward areas. Of course, hopefully, whoever plays down the middle. Look, I just want whoever to plays to score goals and be a good aid the team in the attack, in the philosophy, and make sure that everything is is clicking, and if it's not, we can just switch it out. And hopefully with Kai scoring goals and in a little bit of form here at the beginning of the season, Gyökeres will pick up his form as well, and that can only help the team in the end. And I think this game obviously was won in the fact, definitely in the midfield. I thought that even though in the beginning of the game, in the first 10 minutes, yes, we came out and we played well and we put some energy in the beginning, they kind of dealt with it well. And I thought they were winning second balls early on. And that was the only real thing in that first half. It really was only the first 15 minutes. I think one of the first times we won the second ball, we scored the first goal. Declan Rice picks up the ball in the midfield. We had lost like 3 or 4 second balls back to back. And I was just, they never really did anything with it. So I wasn't too worried about it, but it was something I noticed. And I think that one of maybe the first or second time we picked up a second ball off of one of their long balls, we immediately looked to get forward. I think that was the theme of the game for us that won the game today. Was we were always looking to get forward. Rice was popping up in between their 2 pressing attackers to receive the pass, and he would immediately turn. Same with Miles Lewis-Skelly. And anytime Odegaard came back for the ball, if he kind of maybe went to the left on a couple of occasions, or went really far to the right on a couple of occasions, I should say, and turned in behind the defense as if to pass the ball around him before they got set. And I think that he did that very, very well. And I think that's where the game was won or lost. And I think that was won, I should say. And I think for Coventry, that's also where the game was lost, in the fact that they gave us too much space. When they were able to sit in the low block, Kai would vacate the middle, and it would get clogged because Calafiori was in there, and I think that we did well. We passed quickly. We were able to move their blocks around, move their defense around. But when they did get set in that defense, in that low block, it was a little bit more difficult for us to find the space. And I think that if they would have done that more, given more space at the top of the pitch, and, kind of had a little bit of more of a mid block, I think that their tactics, as far as trying to counter, were sound. The problem is you can't give us too much going the other way. And I think once we got the first goal, they just never had the comeback power. I think Sims looks fine up top. He's a half decent forward. He's played in the Prem before. He looked okay battling with Gabriel and Mascara. Mascara, by the way, had a fantastic game. He was very, very good. But I think that Ellis Sims will do well in the league. I think that Iwanyi, when he gets up to fitness, will do well for them in the league. So I think they have some good players and the ability to, hey, Flynn, hey, buddy. Flynn coming in to see what's going on. No, I think they have the ability to maybe surprise some teams and maybe do well on the counter this season. But I think it's going to come down to how Lampard approaches other games. I was very surprised that he didn't sit back maybe a little bit more in this one. So that'll definitely tell for Coventry. And I think that's one of the reasons there was so much space for us. And with Odegaard firing like he is, like he was today, man of the match for me, I think it's maybe a little bit naive. But a little bit of a chase inning welcome to the league, but it's evidence, it's data for Frank to look at. And I think Coventry are going to struggle. I think they're going to be in a relegation fight, but we shall see, of course. As far as individuals, Miles Lewis-Skelly was absolutely fantastic. I think that, in the middle of the field, we're just absolutely stacked. And right now, MLS is absolutely putting his name in the hat to be the starter, to continue to be the starter. I think that he did once again very, very good today, and we're blessed. We're spoiled for choice, really. Zuby came in, got some minutes. Marino came in and got some minutes in that midfield. So I think that we're definitely looking very, very strong there. Like I said, Mascara played well. Ben White played well, and Calafiore did as well. So, going into the season and moving through and coming into the, early season early doors here, we're looking fantastic. We're looking ready, for the season as far as the squad depth goes. The defense looks good. The midfield looks good. And right now the attack's firing. So, we can't, Tzolis looked absolutely fantastic. We put in 20 shots, 6 on goal. And if we have 20 shots in every game, we're going to put all of the noise to bed about the attack not being this, the attack not being that. We absolutely did, exactly answered all of those critics, all the noise about, our offense doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Tzolis looks a revelation. So direct. I think that's the main difference. That's absolutely the main difference. From last season, we look a lot more direct, and it's definitely going to be a balance. It has to be a balance, right? Arteta is definitely going to learn from everything that we've done, learn from everything that has gone before, and definitely learn from winning. Hold that thought. The dog's acting up, had to let him know for a second. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think that it's going to be a very fine balance that Arteta is going to have to find, especially if we are going to get a little bit of that 22-23 magic going and kind of come out with tons of energy. But then also we need to stick to the lessons we learned last season about kind of saving ourselves for the end. I think that's the biggest thing in today's game for the manager. I think Arteta did well today. He got the tactics spot on, and he definitely understands that it's a long season and the squad needs to be rotated. Rice and Saka obviously came off. And I think this is Arteta's biggest job this season. Not only keeping all the people happy, all of the squad happy, as we've got a big squad now and with quality and everybody wants to get on the pitch because of course they do, but also in once again managing the fitness, managing the energy levels of everyone on the squad. I think that we still need to manage Rice and Saka. I'm praying that they can both play a lot less this season and we can still have, the energy going forward, and the energy in the midfield. And I think we will do. I think especially when Bruno comes back, we got plenty of cover there. Marino looks sharp. So I think that, as far as the depth there, as far as Arteta and what he has to do to make sure we stay healthy and we stay fit and ready to go for each game. That's going to be one of his biggest jobs this season. I don't necessarily think there was any, I thought the referee did well, actually, as far as if there was anything. We didn't see any VAR incidents. I think that the ref kept the lid on things. The Gabriel yellow might have been a little bit soft, in my opinion. But other than that, I wasn't nothing memorable from the referee, which is exactly what you want. As far as how much we should be reading into this victory, I think that it's more the same. We just want to keep it ticking. We definitely look good. We definitely have told the rest of the league, hey, we've picked right back up where we were. We've picked up, and we've even improved a little bit. I mean, I could go on and on about Tzolis. Like I say, it's the directness. He gets the ball and he immediately tries to go at the guy. He immediately tries to get a move, maybe get inside for a shot, or maybe get to the byline for a cross. But he's immediately trying to do something. And you absolutely love to see that. And what I really think that's going to do as far as tactically for us is it's going to balance us out. We've been accused of being far too heavy down the right side. Ben White, Odegaard, Saka is a combo that's been very effective in the past, but it's just we've always been go right, overload the right side is kind of what we've been known for a while. And I was very surprised to see them not doubling up on Saka as quick as they should have, and not doubling up on Tzolis as quick as they should have. And that tells me that we've achieved the balance right out the rip in the first game. And if we're going to be trying to target Tzolis even more, it's going to open up space. And if we can switch the ball quickly, like we were doing, especially for that second goal, and, because we went from side to side all the way around to the other side and then back across, and Saka ended up finishing it. And so if we can do that quickly, that balance is going to leave spaces that we're going to be able to exploit this season. And I think our attack is going to improve dramatically, at least as far as the optics are concerned. The statistics, how much can we, we can improve always, but not, we scored 71 goals in the league last season, over 100 goals in all competitions. And so I think we're doing just fine, but obviously we can always improve. And I think we have. So woe to the league, that's for sure. But yes, of course, it's, we don't want to get way too far ahead of ourselves. Game 1 in the books, fantastic win, of course, definitely an expected win. And I want off the back of this, what we really want to establish is that the Emirates is the new Anfield. The Emirates is the new Etihad. The Emirates is the place nobody wants to go. The Emirates Stadium is absolutely the place that's disgusting for you to come and play. I don't care who it is, and everybody. And I want that to continue. I want that to be the fear factor. I want us to have that fear factor this season. When you look at the schedule and you see, we got to go to Arsenal this weekend, you're thinking, damn, this is going to suck. That's what I want. And I want, that's how it looked today. That's how it looked last season. And I want us to absolutely make it a fortress, make it incredibly difficult to play at. They didn't have any shots on target, and I want to get that streak going again. I want to see how many games we can go without conceding a shot on target. It's this kind of miserly defense that I'm hoping to perpetrate at the Emirates all season long. And I think if we do that, the league better absolutely look out. And we're coming for that Champions League as well. So right now I'm pumped. Right now I'm feeling great about this. Absolutely fantastic win. I think the single biggest takeaway from this match has to be that the Greek Freak has arrived, people. My man Tzolis is here, and he's making a case that Arsenal don't need anybody else in that attack. So if Kai Havertz keeps firing, I'm sure Gyökeres will come in and start firing. If Saka keeps getting on the score sheet, Martin Odegaard on the score sheet scuffed his shot a little bit, but wrong foot's the goalkeeper, and we'll take it. We'll take it. Another captain's performance from him. And so right now, yeah, smooth sailing, and we want to see it again next week away at Aston Villa. The next 4 matches are very, very, very tough. Good to get some of these tough games out of the way. Actually, it's Villa away, Chelsea at home, Sunderland away, and Brighton away. I think if we come away with 15 points, it'll be very, very awesome. I think that would be an amazing run. Obviously, we want to get some revenge and beat Villa at home like we did, because we lost there last season. But these are the kinds of games. Obviously, a draw would not be the end of the world at Villa or at Sunderland. Obviously, I think they're going to be very, very strong again this season. But we do want to improve on our results from last season, and so an important first 4 games here, next 4 games for the Arsenal. And of course, it's all happening. So make sure you are smashing up the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Plenty more coming down the line. So make sure you got the alert button clicked as well. Share it across the socials. You know the drill. Make sure you're getting your comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this victory. Are we getting a little bit too gassed, or is the league there to be won for Arsenal already? Let me know your thoughts. Who's your man of the match? And what is your biggest takeaway from this game as well? So thanks again to everybody for being here, and you will see me next time.